If you're going to be sharing your workbook, it's a good idea to set it up so that it's accessible and easy to understand for people with disabilities. Let's take a look at how to use the Accessibility Checker in Excel 2016 to identify possible accessibility issues. I've got an invoice form open, and to run the Accessibility Checker, I'm going to click the File tab, and then on the Info page, I'll click Check for Issues. In the list, I'll click Check Accessibility. Now, when the Accessibility Checker runs, it opens up the Accessibility Checker task pane on the right side of the screen. I can see that it's identified 3 errors. The Accessibility Checker identifies 3 different types of issues: errors, warnings, and tips. Errors are issues that make a file very difficult or impossible for people with disabilities to understand. A warning is an issue that in most, but not all cases, makes a file difficult for people with disabilities to understand, and a tip identifies content that people with disabilities can understand, but that might be better organized or presented in a way that can improve their experience. The Accessibility Checker has identified a very common accessibility error: the lack of alternate text. Picture 1 is not very informative for a screen reader. Let's take a look at how to fix this issue. I'm going to click this first item on the list, Picture 1. It selects my company logo. Now I'm going to right-click that picture, and then I'll click Format Picture. In the Format Picture pane that opens up, I'm going to click Size and Properties, and you can see that there's an Alt Text option. I can enter a title and a description for this picture. I'll click in the title, and I'm going to type in company logo. In the description, I'm going to type in logo in upper left. Now, if you take a look at the Accessibility Checker, you can see that that picture has now dropped off the list of errors. In the Accessibility Checker pane, I'm going to click the drop-down 1 item. And you can see on the screen that it identifies a drop-down box that holds the address. And you can see that the Format Picture pane is now a Format Shape pane. There's an alt text area, and I'm going to type in the description, country. And as soon as I do that, the drop-down disappears out of the Accessibility Checker. Now there's one other item. There's the Text Box 2 item left. And there's another way that we can use to set the alt text property. Text Box 2 is a form object, and I can see this selected, the address part on the form. Because it's a form object, I'm going to click the Developer tab on the ribbon. And in the Developer tab Controls group, I'm going to click Design Mode. Now I can right-click this object, and I'll click Format Control. I'll click the Alt Text tab, and then I can type in address. And I'll click OK. As soon as I do that, the Accessibility Checker confirms that there are no more accessibility issues found. When you're adding pictures, shapes, or form controls to a spreadsheet, it's a good idea to set them up with alt text right from the start. You've now seen how to use the Accessibility Checker in Excel 2016 to check for accessibility issues.